The drone industry in Turkey has grown rapidly over the past decade. Companies such as Baker, Turkish Aerospace Industries, and others have developed unmanned aerial vehicles and unmanned combat aerial vehicles ranging from medium-altitude, long-endurance reconnaissance drones to heavy strike platforms. One of the most visible breakthroughs was the Bayraktar TB2. It combines surveillance capability with light precision strike munitions, offering a relatively affordable and proven combat drone solution. It has been exported to many countries and seen in actual conflict zones. But Turkey didn't stop at the TB2. Platforms such as the Bayraktar Akinci and TIS heavier platforms push into higher payload, higher endurance, advanced sensor and radar suites, satellite communications links, and multi-role tasks, blurring the line between surveillance drone and mini-combat aircraft. On the export front, the data is striking. In 2023, Turkey's defense and aerospace exports reached about $5.5 billion, up roughly 25 to 30% from the prior year. Within that total, Baker alone reported $1.8 billion of exports in 2023, and $1.8 billion again in 2024. The industry now reports that Turkey accounts for as much as 65% of the global UAV export market, with Baker estimating its own share at 60%. To break that down further, Baker states that 90% of its revenues come from exports. For Turkey overall, the sector's exports rose again in 2024 to around $7.15 billion according to reports, an increase of 29% over 2023. These numbers underscore how central the drone and unmanned system sector is to Turkish defense export strategy. In terms of role in warfighting, Turkish drones have been employed in multiple theaters. For example, in Libya, in the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, 2020. In Syria, and more recently in Ukraine. Their functions include persistent surveillance, target acquisition, precision strike of static and moving targets, and rapid redeployment. The experience in those conflicts has boosted both credibility and demand. On capabilities, the TB2 might carry light-guided munitions, such as the Turkish family of bombs, and loiter for many hours, providing a lower-cost strike option compared to traditional manned aircraft. The Akinci and similar heavier platforms have higher payloads, multiple hardpoints, radar or synthetic aperture radar sensors, and can perform both air-to-ground and in future even air-to-air tasks. For example, one source mentions the Akinci has deployed on maritime target strikes using MAML and MAMT bombs with electro-optical infrared sensors. Turkey's export reach now spans 50 countries. Ukraine was among the earliest major buyers, receiving over 50 TB2s between 2019 and 2023, and signing a joint production agreement for the Akinci in 2024. Saudi Arabia signed a record $3.1 billion contract in July 2023 to buy Akinci UCAVs, the largest defense deal in Turkish history. Other confirmed buyers include Qatar, Kuwait, Azerbaijan, Ethiopia, Poland, Albania, Djibouti, Somalia, Rwanda, and Turkmenistan, all operating TB2s or AKINCIs. Turning to a key partner, Pakistan. Pakistan has purchased Turkish drones. For instance, Pakistan received its first batch of Bayraktar Akinci drones from Turkey in early 2023. It also acquired TB2s earlier. One article states that Turkey's exports to Pakistan, which include drones, naval vessels, and other military hardware, from 2020 to 2024, accounted for about 10% of Turkey's total defense exports. Pakistan is also likely to receive Turkish loitering munitions, for example, the Kamanx system, alongside its UAV fleet. These export deals do not just move hardware, they forge political alliances. Drone sales to Ukraine strengthened Ankara's leverage in the Black Sea, while contracts with Saudi Arabia and Qatar expanded Turkey's economic and security presence in the Gulf. For buyers, Turkish UAVs offer a balance between price, combat record, and operational ease, often under $5 million per unit. Roughly 1/10 of Western equivalents, making them attractive to emerging economies and middle-income defense markets. Looking ahead, Turkey is developing next-generation autonomous and stealth UAVs such as the Xelma jet-powered drone and the ANK-3 flying wing, while expanding export partnerships across Asia and Africa. Its emergence as a top-tier drone power has irreversibly shifted the global military-industrial balance. Yet rapid diffusion raises ethical and strategic concerns. Civilian protection, export controls, and regional arms races are now front and center, as armed UAVs become common in low-intensity conflicts and gray zone operations.